Bukhara is the capital of the Bukhara province of Uzbekistan. Bukhara is a city museum, with about 140 architectural monuments. The nation's fifth largest city, the population on April 24, 2014 was approximately 272,710. The region around Bukhara has been inhabited for at least 5 millennia, and the city has existed for half that time. Located on the Silk Road, the city has long been a center of trade, scholarship, culture, and religion. The historic center of Bukhara, which contains numerous mosques and madrasas, has been listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Names: Bukhara was known as Bukhara in 19th and early 20th century English publications and as Bufurhu 1/4 Eai 1/4 Permil in Tang Chinese. According to the Encyclopaedia Iranica, the name Bukhara is possibly derived from the Sogdian I² Uksarak. It may also be related to Sanskrit Bihara. Muhammad ibn Jafar Nashiki in his History of Bukhara mentions, Bukhara has many names. One of its name was Nimikot. It has also been called Bumaskot. It has two names in Arabic. One is Madinat al-Sufriya meaning the Copper City, and another is Madinat al-Tjar meaning the City of Merchants. But, the name Bukhara is more known than all the other names. In Khorasan, there is no other city with so many names. Since the Middle Ages, the city has been known as Buara/OL registered trademark O terahertz ±O section in Arabic and Persian sources. The modern Uzbek spelling is Bukharo. History. The history of Bukhara stretches back millennia. It is now the capital of the Bukhara province of Uzbekistan. Located on the Silk Road, the city has long been a center of trade, scholarship, culture, and religion. During the golden age of the Samanids, Bukhara became the intellectual center of the Islamic world. The historic center of Bukhara, which contains numerous mosques and madrasas, has been listed by UNESCO as one of the World Heritage Sites. Bukhara has been one of the main centers of world civilization from its early days in 6th century BCE. From the 6th century CE, Turkic speakers gradually moved in. Its architecture and archaeological sites form one of the pillars of Central Asian history and art. The region of Bukhara was a part of the Persian Empire for a long time. The origin of many of its current inhabitants goes back to the period of Aryan immigration into the region. Major sites: Fitzroy MacLean, then a young diplomat in the British Embassy in Moscow, made a surreptitious visit to Bukhara in 1938, sightseeing and sleeping in parks. In his memoir Eastern Approaches, he judged it an enchanted city, with buildings that rivaled the finest architecture of the Italian Renaissance. Poi Calan Complex. The title Poi Calan belongs to the architectural complex located at the base of the Great Minaret Kala Senten. Kalyan Minaret. More properly, Mina Rai Kala Senten. It is made in the form of a circular pillar brick tower, narrowing upwards, of 9 meters diameter at the bottom, 6 meters overhead and 45.6 meters high. Also known as the Tower of Death, as for centuries criminals were executed by being thrown off the top. Kala Senten Mosque, arguably completed in 1514, is equal to the Bibi Kanim Mosque in Samarkand in size. Although they are of the same type of building, they are absolutely different in terms of art of building. Mirai Arab Madrasa. Little is known about its origin, although its construction is ascribed to Sheikh Abdullah Yamani of Yemen, the spiritual mentor of early Shaybanids. He was in charge of donations of Ubaidullah Khan, devoted to construction of madrasa. Olat Umani, Ismail Samani Mausoleum. The Ismail Samani Mausoleum, one of the most esteemed sites of Central Asian architecture, was built in the 9th century as the resting place of Ismail Samani, the founder of the Samanid dynasty, the last Persian dynasty to rule in Central Asia, which held the city in the 9th and 10th centuries. Although in the first instance the Samanids were governors of Khorasan and Ma'arayuna under the suzerainty of the Abbasid Caliphate, the dynasty soon established virtual independence from Baghdad. Kashmir Ayub Mausoleum. Kashmir Ayub is located near the Samani Mausoleum. Its name in Persian means Job's spring due to the legend according to which Job visited this place and brought forth a spring of water by the blow of his staff on the ground. The water of this well is still pure and is considered healing. The current building was constructed during the reign of Timur and features a Khwarezm-style conical dome uncommon in Bukhara. Labai Halls. The Labai Halls Ensemble is the name of the area surrounding one of the few remaining halls in the city of Bukhara. Until the Soviet period there were many such ponds, which were the city's principal source of water, but they were notorious for spreading disease and were mostly filled in during the 1920s and 1930s. The Labai Halls survived because it is the centerpiece of a magnificent architectural ensemble, created during the 16th and 17th centuries, which has not been significantly changed since. The Labai Halls Ensemble, surrounding the pond on three sides, consists of the Kukladash Madrasa, the largest in the city, and of two religious edifices built by Nadir Divanbi, a Kanaka, or lodging house for itinerant Sufis, and a madrasa that stand on the west and east sides of the pond respectively. There is also an interesting metal sculpture of Nasruddin Hoja, the quick-witted and warm-hearted man, who forms the central character of many children's folk stories in the Central Asian and Indian subcontinent, sitting atop his mule with one hand on his heart and the other with an all okay sign above his head. Bukhara Fortress, the Ark. Mosque of Ali al-Hamadani. In Bukhara there is a masjid of Mir Said Ali Hamadani, Charminar, a beautiful building tucked away in one of the lanes behind the Liabi Halls complex is the Charminar. This building is now surrounded mainly by small houses and shops on its perimeter. One may find an artisan or two selling a fine piece of hand-drawn paintings. Transportation. Bukhara Airport. The M37 highway connects the city to most of the major cities in Turkmenistan including Ashgabat. Demographics. According to the official statistics, the city's population is 82% Tajiks, 6% Russians, 4% Uzbeks, 3% Tatars, 1% Koreans, 1% Turkmens, 1% Ukrainians, 2% of other ethnicities. However, official Uzbek numbers have long been criticized and refuted by various observers and Western sources, and it is widely assumed that the population of the city consists mainly of Persian-speaking Tajiks, with ethnic Uzbeks forming a growing minority. Exact figures are difficult to evaluate, since many people in Uzbekistan either identify as Uzbek even though they speak Tajik as their first language, or because they are registered as Uzbeks by the central government despite their Tajik language and identity. According to Soviet estimates in the early 20th century, the Tajiks formed the overwhelming majority of city. Until the 20th century, Bukhara was also home to the Bukharan Jews, whose ancestors settled in the city during Roman times. Most Bukharan Jews left the city between 1925 and 2000 and settled in Israel and the United States of America. Poetry and literature. Being a cultural magnet, Bukhara has long appeared in much local and Persian literature. Many examples can be given. Omegaoch Mayol registered trademark O terahertz plus or minus O section O terahertz OL terahertz UO plus or minus O squared Rho, O Bukhara. Be joyous and live long. Mo squared Wo O UO Mo O, your king comes to you in ceremony. Rudaki, Daiklada defines the name Bukhara itself as meaning full of knowledge, referring to the fact that in antiquity, Bukhara was a scientific and scholarship powerhouse. Rumi verifies this when he praises the city as such. OOL registered trademark O terahertz plus or minus O section UO to the first O UOOMOOMO Bukhara is a mine of knowledge. U3/4 O cubed OL registered trademark O terahertz plus or minus Omegaoch Moio cubed O UO plus or minus U copyright OOOMO of Bukhara is he who possesses knowledge. In the Italian romantic epic Orlando Innamorato by Matteo Maria Buoardo, Bukhara is called Albracca and described as a major city of Cathay. There, within its walled city and fortress, Angelica and the knights she has befriended make their stand when attacked by Agrican, Emperor of Tartary. As described, this siege by Agrican resembles the historic siege by Genghis Khan in 1220. Notable people. Many notable people lived in Bukhara in the past. Among them are, Muhammad ibn Ismail ibn Ibrahim ibn al-Mughira ibn Bardizbah al-Bukhari, Islamic scholar and compiler of hadiths, Avicenna, physician and person of encyclopedic knowledge, Barlami, Abul Fazl Muhammad and his son Abu Ali Muhammad, two famous viziers of Samanid kings, historians and patrons of art and literature, Abu Bakr Nashiki, historian who wrote History of Bukhara, Sadaduddin Muhammad Orfi, historian, scientist, and author. Hazrat Syed Jalaluddin Suwakh Posh Bukhari, c. 595–690 AH, 1199–1291 CE, Bahauddin Naqshband Bukhari, Amir Kulal, Kirami Bukharoy, and Lushan, Sadruddin Ainai, Abdulrauf Fitrat, Oksana Shusovitana, Sayyid Urjal Shams el-Din Omar, twin towns sister cities, Samarkand, Uzbekistan, Dushanbe, Tajikistan, Khajand, Tajikistan, Hamadan, Iran, Nishapur, Iran, Balkh, Afghanistan, Santa Fe, New Mexico, United States. See also, Bukhara Rug, List of World Heritage Sites in Uzbekistan, references. Sources, Gibb, H.A. The Arab Conquests in Central Asia. London, The Royal Asiatic Society. OCLCA 685253133 Shaban, M.A. The Abbasid Revolution. Cambridge, Cambridge University Press. ISBN A0-521-29534-3 Bosworth, C. E. Squared Utaba B. Muslim. The Encyclopedia of Islam, New Edition, Volume V, Kia Uramahi. Leiden in New York, Brill PPA 541 Euro 542. ISBN A90-04-07819-3 B.A. Litvinsky, Ahmad Hassan Dani. History of Civilizations of Central Asia, The Crossroads of Civilizations, AD 250–750. UNESCO. PPA 1 Euro 569. ISBN A9789231032110. Further reading, Moorcroft, William and Trebeck, George. 1841. Travels in the Himalayan provinces of Hindustan and the Punjab. In Ladakh and Kashmir, in Peshawar, Kabul, Kunduz, and Bokhara. From 1819 to 1825, Vol. 2. Reprint, New Delhi, Saga Publications, 1971. External links, Forbes, Andrew, and Henley, David, Timur's Legacy, The Architecture of Bukhara and Samarkand. UNESCO World Heritage List, Historic Center of Bukhara, audio interview with Bukhara resident about life in Bukhara.